Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Rich. As always, let me get set up here. Let's see here. We got to get set up. And we are set up. Got 6 folks joining us already. I am in Montana and it is a chilly morning here. Not sure what degree it is, but it's nice and cool. Sitting on the back deck of a good friend's house. And Mr. Mike Seeklander is here somewhere, roaming around. And he is our guest today on Coffee with Rich. Let's see who we got here. Good morning from Brunswick, Georgia. Good morning to you, Semper Fi, sir. John is on from Oklahoma. Jared, good morning, brother. You're out here in Montana. You know what a beautiful morning it is. Wade is on. Good morning. Donald is on from Texas. 17 folks on. Please like and share. Mr. Mike Seeklander is here somewhere and should be joining us in just a moment. Is my audio okay? Had to set up quick. That's why I was running a few minutes behind. Oh, Roger's on. Good morning, Roger. We're in the Marines together. Hope you're doing well, sir. Robert is on from Southern Indiana. Coin number 1699. If you're a coined member of the American Warrior Society, let me know what your coin number is and where you are this morning. John says yes. Okay. Jason says audio is great. Semper Fi, Jason. Good morning. Another devil dog on this morning. Wade says audio is good on my end. Mike, are you in Montana? Yeah, we're in Missoula, Montana. It's a rather chilly morning. Dallas is on a belt buckle. Going to be here today. Mike is teaching a advanced movement course, and tomorrow we'll be doing defensive handgun 1 and 2. David says, good morning from Tennessee. Bruce says, good morning. 28 folks live. Please like and share. If you got questions for Mike, go ahead and start throwing them on here, and we'll get him on in just a moment. I think he's over on. How many people you know? I have like 30-something people. I got 31, pal. Yeah, geez. Here he comes.
My signal sucks. Hey, folks, if you can see me and hear me, jump over to the American Warrior Society page.
Hi, Mr. Andrew Branca. Good morning.
On Rich's side, and we're doing coffee with Mike this morning, right? Coffee with Mike? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's actually Coffee Rich, you're the guest.
Wait, I thought it was called Coffee with Mike.
No.
What do we got there? Oh, 39 people on.
35 people, yeah.
I got 41. Sorry, dude.
Okay. Well.
Hey, I'm live right now. If you are watching me, good morning, folks. It's nice to see you all. Jack, Chas, Bob, Brady, Amy. Jump over to the American Warrior Society page. We're both live right there. We're going to do some Q&A and talk about, I'm not sure what we're talking about this morning, but.
You're the guest, man. I'm asking you questions.
Okay, I'm going to be asking some questions. So, hey, jump over there and do me a favor and share this. We want to get 100 plus people on this morning. Beautiful, sunny Montana, and we'll see you over there. Bye. Hi, good morning. Hello, test 1, 2, 3. I'm here.
Show us that, Jill says, show us that timer you posted.
The timer?
Yeah.
I could get it, but I'd have to go out to the car and get it.
Cody says, Rich, you better get Mike a gi.
Really? I think I own a gi, Cody. Maybe you should find out one of these days.
Oh, snap. Cody Hudson, who was commenting there, besides being a federal officer, is also my jiu-jitsu coach and a damn good grappler. And I think the challenge has been posted.
Sorry, Cody.
Andrew says, hey, Mike, get a haircut, Rich. I know, man. I need a haircut.
Yeah, he's a hippie. He's definitely a hippie.
Donald says, how does Mike get a shine on his head? That's the first question.
Like that?
Oh, okay. But seriously, though, man, we've got you this morning. If you have a question for Mike, go ahead and throw it out there. Like I said, we're in Missoula, Montana this morning. It's a little chilly outside. Mike is going to be teaching advanced movement class today. I'm going to ask you a little bit about that, Mike. And then tomorrow and Sunday, he's going to be teaching his defensive handgun level 1 course, and then PCC on Monday.
Yeah, it's a rifle carbine course.
Rifle carbine.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to have a good time, hopefully. Defensive Handgun has a huge group, and we've done this, or I've done this class in Montana for the last 6 or 7 years. So all the alumni in Idaho, Montana, Utah, Colorado that travel out here, shout out to you. Hopefully some of you are in class this morning. I know I'll see some of you in class for sure, but it should be a good 4 days of training. Hopefully the heat doesn't creep in. I love coming out here during July and August because it's not as hot out, but it's going to be awesome. So what are our questions, man? Hey, by the way, share it. We got 54 people on. Have you ever had 150 people?
106.
106 on?
Yeah.
106 is the record. Help us break the record today. I think on Shooting Performance, I was live for a second. Help us break the record. Come on, share. Put this on some walls. Someone share this on the Shooting Performance Training Addicts and all of our closed group pages and member pages, if you would, please.
All right. Says somebody says, I'm interested to hear about the movement course. So what are you going to be teaching today, Mike?
How to move.
How to move. Well, there you go. Succinct as ever.
You want more detail?
I would like a little bit more detail, Mike. What's the context?
How to move.
How to move.
Yeah. So advanced movement. I don't like you holding this for me. This feels kind of weird. Should you break your thing here? So it's a good question. I think that was from Jason. So advanced movement. First of all, I don't necessarily like to use the word advanced. I think sometimes the word advance can be used in the wrong way. But I use it because it's the follow-on course for my primary level 1 course, where we talk about all of the manipulations and, more importantly, how to get the two hands on the gun and off the gun. So this is all about movement. How do we do an effective fast short movement? How do we do an effective long movement? What's the difference between a long and a short movement? How do we effectively shoot on the move? How do we mold together the process of doing a short movement and then shooting on the move? Because on a stage, we're constantly shooting, and jumping to a different position. And, the stuff we talk about, this is a competitive class, but the stuff we talk about is also applicable in some sort of a defensive movement as well. So it's a pretty detailed class where we literally practice moving in pretty much every direction. Because as those of you that compete know, it's important to understand that when you're shooting a stage, shooting accounts for a very small percentage of your time. Everything else is moving. We talk about that, or I talk about that in my classes. Some of you have heard this. You can only do 3 things faster. You can shoot the gun faster, you can move the gun faster, and you can move your body and be ready to shoot faster. That's really all you can do faster. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Thanks, man. Let's see here. See, Andrew Branca of the Law Self-Defense says, I heard that the great and powerful Will Parker will be working with you guys in Missoula. That is the rumor. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Will out here. Will came out to our firearms instructor development class in Oklahoma a couple weeks ago. Good to see Will again. Jared says, given today's circumstances, rifle or shotgun for the truck gun, if any?
I would totally do a rifle. I wouldn't have a shotgun. I don't have anything against shotguns, but I don't see a reason to carry an 8-round shotgun when I can carry a very, very easy to shoot 30-round carbine or rifle. So I would have a rifle or shotgun.
A follow-up question, well, caliber and length, does it depend on where you live and what the purpose is?
It depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're in Montana like we are right now, maybe you might have a 16-inch gun. Maybe you want to shoot maybe that's a rifle you might want to shoot your deer with that year. Or maybe you're on a ranch and you need to deal with a coyote or some sort of predator, but I think caliber and length depends on where you are. But certainly something short enough, if it's in a truck gun and it's going to be a short gun, probably a 14.7 or 14.5 gun that's legal without paperwork. Certainly a carbine would be applicable as well, a 9mm if you can get more of that. A rifle is going to give you more distance, but I would stick to something like that.
Cool. If you got questions for Mike, now's the time to ask him. We've got 59 folks joining us live. And if you're just joining us, my name is Rich Brown. This is Coffee with Rich. I'm joined this morning by the talent himself, Mr. Mike Seeklander. And we are in beautiful Missoula, Montana. Let's see what the questions here are today. Gerald says, how do you like your Garmin watch by now? Do you use many of the features?
Yeah, this, if you're wondering about the watch I'm wearing, if you can't see it, maybe it's not really bright out here yet. It's a Garmin Fenix 5 Plus, I think, and I love it. I literally love it. Garmin, I love you, by the way. Send me more watches. They didn't send me this one. We bought this. I got this for my birthday like years ago. It's been literally bulletproof. I banged it up against things. The glass, surprisingly, is not scratched. It must be a crystal glass. I use a lot of the features. I use the GPS, I use the tracking, I use the fitness monitor all the time. It has a full range of, heart rate tracking, stuff on it. I love it. It's an absolutely fantastic watch, by the way.
And Michael Brown says, what PCs are in Mike's gun safe? I'd say what PCCs are not in Mike's gun safe.
Yeah, I mean, folks, if you're on this right now, most of you probably know I'm sponsored by Wilson Combat. So I have 2 AR9 Gs. So they're the 9mm that run on Glock magazines. I do also have an old original JP PCC that I got when I was shooting some of the JP guns, which is also a fantastic PCC. But right now they're just my AR9 Gs. I don't have a technical, a defensive or a tactical PCC, if you will. I thought about having one of those set up, maybe even in a pistol length as a good house gun. And the reason I say that is because imagine grabbing a non-suppressed rifle that's, short and has some sort of muzzle brake or comp on it that's super loud and shooting that in your house around your family members. I mean, they're not going to be able to hear. They're not going to be able to respond to your commands. They're not going to be able to do anything. So I think a pistol caliber carbine, 9mm caliber, whatever else could be something fantastic as a defensive tool.
Yeah, great question. Jason says, still rocking a Phoenix 3, can't justify the upgrade. It's amazing. Good on you, brother. James says, good morning from West Virginia, running late. Please like and share. We got 61 folks with us this morning on a cool, crisp morning in Missoula, Montana. Robert says, is now the time to look at getting a carry revolver in case Biden is elected and pushes a gun ban? Demand could spike, making them hard to find.
No. Good luck with that, Biden. I mean, do a U.S.-wide gun ban. Good luck with that.
Could get bad. Well, speaking of which, let's talk about that for a minute. We flew out here yesterday, and if you haven't flown, this is my first time flying during COVID. It was a ghost town at the airport still, which is weird. You had to wear a face mask properly at all times in the airport terminals as well as on the plane. And not a fun time. Where's all this going, Mike? Look in your crystal ball. Where are we going with this?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where the world's going. I think that could be anybody's guess right now. We talked a lot about the COVID last night. And there are some significant differences in opinions based on different people. Everybody has a different opinion on this. Some of them are very factual based. Some of them are not fact based. They're emotion based, and they're political based. And I think if we can get to a point right now where we're looking at specific facts, and we had a panel of bipartisan experts that can help make decisions and had some true leadership, maybe this country would start to climb out of the hole that it's in. I don't know where it's going, man. I've heard a lot of people talk about the numbers and whether or not they're increasing or they're more affected by testing. I think it's both. We talked about that last night as well, but I wish I could look into a crystal ball. I tell you this though, man, sometimes I think we complicate the crystal ball, and I see you jumping on, Rudy. Good morning. I see you. Hey, but if you're not sharing, folks, share this. We're going to hit 100 today. That's our goal, is to hit 107. That's going to beat Rich's original record. So please post this in a couple of our groups. But what our crystal ball should tell us is all of the basic principles that we've been talking about and teaching about and thinking about for years are still true. What is your ability to be prepared in terms of food? What is your ability to defend your home? How hard is your home? Are you able and ready to defend yourself? What's your fitness level? What are your combative skills like? What are your firearm skills like? Those things are all still important, but we didn't start saying this. We didn't start teaching these things. We didn't start, this American Warrior Society entity or any of our programs or anything, the things that we do, both free or for paid, because of COVID or anything else. We started this literally years ago, because that's what I do for a living, and that's what Rich does for a living. So I think that instead of getting real confused about the future, we can look at the basic fundamental things that we should be good at and start checking off those blocks, right? What are those? What are our weak areas? What can we address? What do we need to be better at? And for those of you that are members, I know a bunch of members, it's amazing. A lot of the members are actually logging back into the vault and looking at the content and following, defensive handgun, defensive rifle, defensive handgun, or defensive shotgun, low light. They're following the programs. They're doing the drills, or they're training the skills versus just kind of being part of the culture because we all like each other. We're like-minded individuals. That's one of our slogans from years ago. So long answer, but
no, it was a good answer. And one of the things that made me think of, Mike, is, being able to assess your current situation. A lot of us like to go shoot, or some of us like to lift weights, and we default to that because it's what we enjoy. But in reality, what we probably need to do is assess where our current, what assets do we have? Do we have enough food for a month? Are we fit enough? What's our vitamin D levels like? Could we pull our own butt out of a ditch if we had to, or could we get our truck unstuck? I mean, all these things are going to become relevant as we continue to move through this, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree, man. I think don't just do what you like to do what you need to do. Do the things that are boring, do the things that are not, your thing. They're the necessary thing that if you look into your own crystal ball, and maybe that's the way we should answer the question. Everybody should have their own little crystal ball, but that crystal ball is, filled with information based on your personal status, your house, your family, your weaknesses, your weak points, and at the same time, maybe we should be saying, take the time to enjoy every minute. We've lost some great humans this year, from COVID and everything else. Dr. William April, just lost him recently. He's a superstar, just a fantastic guy. If you didn't watch, any or listen to our podcast with him or listen to any of the Best Defense Roundtables, Dr. William April was one of our guests every morning. And just, I had just talked to him literally, and then spontaneous out of the blue, he has an illness and has passed away. So if you're not taking the time to enjoy yourself and enjoy the family and whatever else, do that as well.
Yeah, let's see here. Brett is on. He says, good morning, guys. Brett, coin number 876 behind enemy masks in Southern California. Jason says, damn, I need to find my old USMC plant identification cards. I totally blew that off. Let's see here. Steve says, it seems to be about adapting and succeeding in whatever you need to do. I should be over in the UK right now training for my new job, but doing it all online, taking care of the basics, preparing as best I can, staying calm, maintaining confidence. Appreciate all your info. Mike says, have y'all seen a spike in the impressions reach interaction with the best defense since this urban chaos began?
Michael, I can't answer that question. I don't know if there's a spike in the best defense reach. I don't have any control or any influence over those numbers or measuring that. So I don't know. It seems, I think the interest is there. Mr. Michael Bain would know that the best. I know he talks about the numbers when we started doing the roundtables. We did a roundtable. If you didn't know this, we did a roundtable every single week during the pandemic, the initial stage of the pandemic. Rich and I republished those on the American Warrior Show, but if you haven't seen them all, you can also go over to Michael Bain's page or our page. You can listen to ours. You can watch us on video on Michael Bain's TV page. And he said the numbers were fantastic because people are truly getting it. They're interested. They want to learn. So that's all I know, but I don't have any influence or any contact with the best defense other than that. So.
Yeah. And Brett says, Dr. April, rest in peace. Andrew Branca lost. Self-defense says William's death is a tremendous loss. Absolutely agree with that. I mean, I don't know who will replace him. He leaves an incredible void. Will Parker says sound advice about our families. Jara says, good morning. Pretty sure I personally killed the best defense. That's Andrew Branca. So, Mike, as far as COVID, we can't see what's going on, but what about this civil unrest, man? Is this stuff going to pass after the election? You think we're just gearing up for that, or is there something else going on?
Man, I don't know. You tell me, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I think we've reached a new level in the country in terms of the unrest. I think that the unruly have seen that they can get away with a lot more than they ever thought they could. I know some jurisdictions are holding them accountable. I know there are some arrests made in different areas with facial recognition and some of these individuals that burned buildings and looted and hurt people. But I think the other couple million, 1,000, 100,000, whatever the number is, realize, wow, we can get out there and get pretty funky. Why not? I'm young. I'm stupid. I'm pretending I'm standing up for some sort of movement. I'm pretending I'm doing this for a reason when I'm actually probably not. Because if I were doing it for a reason, I would do it in some sort of maybe emotional but a logical manner that would actually affect change. So I think they've realized what they can get away with, and it may get worse.
Well, we talked about this last night, just driving around, and I throw this into Branca. How can you have district attorneys that run on a platform of, I'm not going to charge shoplifters. I'm not going to, if vandalism, the damage is under $1,000, I'm not going to prosecute. If it's this level of assault, I'm not going to prosecute. So they run that as their platform. And of course, there's a certain segment of society that's going to vote for them based on that. I mean, I don't understand where that's going or what the second, third order effect with law enforcement is going to be. Would they pursue charges on someone if you knew the district attorney wasn't going to prosecute?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And by the way, I see Jocko jumping on. Good morning, David. Andrew, no, you did not personally kill the best defense. Nice try, man. I see a bunch of people jumping on, but no, I don't think, to answer your question, that's a weird thing. We should probably have Andrew back on to talk about how district attorneys make those decisions. And I think he would probably say, well, it's completely their opinion, their politics. It's completely and totally their politics. Yeah. There's no regimented system that says, hey, you're a district attorney, an elected official in this area, and you're required to do these things based on these metrics or these parameters, in the criminal, realm of, prosecutions. I don't think so. They just kind of do what they want to do, which is really weird. There's a rap song. I do what I want. It's some crappy rap song. Maybe that's the district attorney motto, right? Maybe we should start playing that every time they come on. By the way, anyways, when you're thinking about this stuff, folks, don't forget. And I talked about this on all of our roundtables, and hopefully he doesn't have the COVID. On all the roundtables and the best defense, and Rich and I talk about this. Control what you can control, right? Don't worry too much about what you can't control. What can you affect? And also, I would tell you, watch what you listen to and learn and watch on a regular basis. There's just so much crap coming into our systems, that human brain and that human system. Collect information you need. Focus on your weak points. Don't worry about things you can't control, because I think we would all be in a depressive state beyond repair if we literally got on the news and just watched the news for hours every day. So.
And Andrew says, if we elect politically motivated, quote, social justice prosecutors, we're going to get politically motivated social justice prosecutory decision-making. But exactly. I think we do need to have Andrew back on if he'll come on the show, because one of the questions I would have is, at what point does it become prosecutory misconduct to allow this kind of thing to go on? And what does the bar have to say with regard to what they see going on with the state district attorney? So I'd be interested in hearing his thoughts about that. Let's see what some of the other comments are this morning. Questions for Mike, please throw them out. Donald says, Austin, Texas has already approved defunding law enforcement in that city. These yahoos are loons, in my opinion. These posting pictures and arresting people in Eugene, Oregon, I'm pleasantly surprised. Jocko says it's chaos everywhere at this stage, not only by you guys. Yeah, and Jocko, of course, is in South Africa. And we had a South African corporate attorney on last Friday's Coffee with Rich, and he shared with some of the things that are going on over there. And Jocko, maybe we need to have you on if you're open to that. Steve says, bingo, I am much calmer when I focus on what I can control. Great point. Yeah, and that's good Stoic philosophy, man. Focus on your own little 3-foot world. Linda says, good morning from Fort Worth, Texas, a girl and a gun.
Good morning, Linda. Hello.
Jara says, PT live following protests, YouTube, Facebook. Donald says, we are traveling to Spring City, Tennessee. I'm debating whether to go through Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee, man, it's pretty safe right now. I'd stay out of Memphis, but other than that, it's business as usual. Andrew says, happy to be on anytime. Dan says, amen to that. Ways to combat the anti-gun movement. Mike, what do you got?
Well, look what I'm doing. I'm sharing our live stream right now because I'm trying to hit 107. That's all I care about right now.
We got 69 folks on right now.
I'm sharing right now. Do what I'm doing. Who cares about
Let's take a share break real quick before we talk about the anti-gun movement.
Ask for more share breaks. Well, how many groups can I share to? Let's see. I'm literally sharing to every group. I don't even think I'm members of most of these. Turmeric? I'm going to share to Turmeric user group. Hold on.
They're going to love that.
Reloading 101? I'm sharing.
Sure, why not?
Here in the United States? Yep. USPSA Idaho section. Do that. Off-grid living. Oh, I think they're about to kick me off here. Extreme ownership. I'm not sure about that. App trends? Nah, that's kind of a weird group. New England 45 ACP. I'm going to do that one right there. Marshall Blade Concepts. I'm totally sharing there. Wilson Combat Club. Dylan Reloaders. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Bushcraft Survival. Preppers Academy. I'm just going to keep clicking until they kick me off.
Well, I'll tell you, as far as, Marshall Blade Concepts, Adam Boyce, I believe, is going to be in the class, and we brought our training knives so we can get some edge weapons training with Adam. That'll be awesome. 74 people on. If you're just joining us now, hey, welcome to Coffee with Rich. My name is Rich Brown, the co-host, co-founder of the American Warrior Society and the American Warrior Show. We are out here in beautiful Missoula, Montana with the talent himself, Mr. Mike Seeklander. And Mike is teaching a movement course out here in Missoula, as well as Defensive Handgun 1, as well as his carbine class on Monday. If you want to find out where you can learn about classes with Mike, shooting-performance.com. And let's see what the people are
like
saying.
Crazy. Look at the number.
We are at 100. Look at that.
We're going to hit more than that. It's all about me sharing right here.
Yeah. Thank you to the folks that are joining us right now. And let's see what we have. My name is Rich Brown, co-host, co-founder of the American Warrior Show, the American Warrior Society. I got the talent himself, Mr. Mike Seeklander here.
Can you stop calling me the talent himself? Can you call me Mike?
No, the talent. That's what he calls himself. So, you know.
Did we break 109?
109.
I just broke your record. Boom.
There you go. That's how it's done.
See what happens when you bring me on the live? Right there. 117. Record broken. Record crushed. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, I got a question for Mike, but before we get to that, how do you confront the anti-gun movement? We're going to see what some folks are saying. Jocko in South Africa says, sure, bud. Neil is a member of my shooting club. Brett says we should all move to Montana. What's your address? Donald says liked and shared. Chad says headed to Alabama. And Chad is going to be attending helicopter pilot school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's awesome. John says, good morning. Jason says, with some district attorneys prosecuting gun owners when they use their firearms in self-defense, do you recommend some type of prepaid legal? Jason, not really my realm of expertise. The only prepaid legal stuff I do is with the law of self-defense. He has a consult program that I highly recommend, and check him out.
The expert is on right now. Andrew Bronco, Law of Self-Defense. Seek him out. He actually has a blog article on that, and he is probably one of the experts on that. So check out Andrew. You can't beat him.
Yeah, really good program. Check out Law of Self-Defense. Amanda says shared. Good morning, Mike and Rich. Dallas says, Rich, where did you get that hat? I think I got it at Tractor Supply.
Amanda. Hi, Dallas. How come they don't ask about where I got this shirt?
They don't care about you.
Machado Jiu-Jitsu. John-Jacques Machado.
John-Jacques Machado. There's another talent. Brett says, NBC, Marshall Blade Concepts is the best. Got 105. Mike says, trainer David White from Fletzy Charleston says, hey.
Hey, how are you? Fletzy Charleston. Love that place. Tell David hi.
Steven says, we definitely need a Boise class. I couldn't make Montana this year. Okay, let's talk about.
Steven, let's go to Boise, man. I'm ready. I love Boise. That's near where my dad lives. So host that thing and get that going. I'd love to come to Boise, Idaho. There's a forum on the website, shooting-performance.com. Although I'm trying to travel less, I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but I'd love to go to Boise. What else? Okay,
got 123 folks on. My name is Rich Brown. This is Coffee with Rich. If you're just now joining us, we're in Missoula, Montana, about to go teach a firearms class. Mike is teaching his advanced movement class, and the question just come up: how do you confront the anti-gun movement, Mike? What are your thoughts?
Well, we can't shoot them. So, here's the deal about anti-gun. Let me take this one serious. On a serious note, most people that are anti-gun simply don't know anything about firearms. They don't know anything about the fact that a gun is a tool, a firearm is simply a tool. We will do ourselves as gun owners a tremendous favor if we attempt to educate them. And you may start, for example, with self-defense. You get someone that's anti-gun, I always start with, well, okay, interesting. So you're anti-gun. Okay. Do you believe in self-defense? Like, for example, if someone broke in your house right now or assaulted you on the street or maybe in your vehicle, do you believe that you have a right to self-defense? And the answer is almost always yes. Yes, I have a right to self-defense. And then I'll ask them, well, what do you think the tools you could potentially use to defend yourself in this situation would be? Well, it might be, they may say pepper spray, or they may say, oh, I'm going to grab a knife in my kitchen. Or they may say, I may physically fight to defend myself. And if you can get them to understand that there are certain circumstances, especially for, let's say, a smaller female that doesn't have the combative ability to fight someone maybe as large as Rich Brown, right? Or a smaller male, or someone that just doesn't have that skill or experience, or maybe an elderly male or female that, face it, folks, they're not going to get on the ground and rough and tumble around on the pavement that we're actually seated on right now. They need to have some tools that equalize their ability to defend themselves. And a firearm is simply a tool. The next thing you can do, take them to the range. Say, hey, here, do me one favor. I will go wherever you want, anti-gunner. I'll go to your yoga class with you or basket weaving. Not saying anti-gunners are all yoga people and basket weavers, but I'll go do whatever you want. You're going to expose me to something I'm not comfortable with, but you got to go to the range with me one time. And then take some 22s and make sure you do it in a safe manner. If you're not competent, find an instructor that can go with you. Let them shoot a gun. it'll change their life, literally, so there's a worse place to start.
Well, I tell you, and I know that the question wasn't necessarily directed at me, but my thought has always been like, people that, nobody should have a gun. Only the law enforcement should, have a gun. I'm like, okay, when the door gets kicked in the middle of the night, do you want, if this person's completely anti-gun, period, nobody, okay, do you want the police officer to show up with a bouquet of flowers or a firearm? And if the answer is almost always, well, of course, they need to come with a firearm to protect me. Okay, then we're not necessarily freaked out about the gun. It's who has control of the gun. Okay, well, yeah, now you get them on the side of, this is a morally ambiguous tool. It can be used for good or it can be used for bad.
Yeah. 123, 127 live viewers on. We shattered your record today, dude. This is awesome.
Yeah, I know it is awesome. So thank you to the 120 folks that are joining us live right now. The talent, and people wonder why I call you the talent. Now they know. If you're just joining us, my name is Rich Brown, co-host and co-founder of the American Warrior Society, American Warrior Show, joined this morning by Mr. Mike Seeklander himself. Yeah. We're in beautiful Missoula, Montana.
Amanda says about new gun owners. Amanda, are you teaching only female gun owners? Or are you doing open classes? I'm hearing a lot of female instructors that are having just huge amounts of other female students, but also students in general. And I see across the board, I think that's happening for a lot of instructors. We're seeing a lot of people in classes that are buying guns. I think a lot of us that are avid shooters and instructors have probably gotten that call. Man, I'm thinking about getting a gun. I just heard that on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's getting calls from all his liberal actor friends. Hey, I'm thinking about buying a gun finally. My wife is going to let me have a gun in the home. Oh my gosh, what do I do? So interesting. So,
yeah, and Amanda's an amazing instructor. We had the privilege of training with her a couple weeks ago. Let's see what the comments are. Let's see. There are some that want power and not allow others to be armed. Sometimes it is a power grab. That may be what's going on. Gerald says, if you're angry when talking to an anti-gunner, it adds to their fear of guns and gun folks. I agree with you. Amanda says, well, we talked about that. Will says, I think the reason for breaking the record is due to being in Montana. That's true. Tiny says, how about the defund the law enforcement movement that is being enforced in certain areas? Mike, you got any thoughts on that?
About the defund law?
Yeah, where is all this defunding the police departments going? Where is that heading?
Well, maybe we should address where it's coming from. It's coming from the criminal element. Imagine that. Who would it's like the deep dark forces of what's that town that Batman's from? Gotham City. Deep dark forces that are saying, like, Gotham City, deep dark forces, defund the police in Gotham City. Wait a second, let's scratch our head and wonder, where's that coming from? Oh, that's right. It's the Joker and all his cronies orchestrating that. Do we not see that? Come on. Defund the police. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And anybody, it doesn't matter what side you're on, liberal, left-leaning, right-leaning, conservative, everybody that's logical and intelligent knows that law enforcement is necessary. If you don't, then I challenge you to move to an area where there is no law enforcement and order for a year. Maybe that's a separate country or whatever else, but come on. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to go on public record to say defunding the police versus funding, training, orchestrating, leading, mentoring, whatever the police. That's the stupidest thing since.
Yeah, it is. There was for years it was cops need to have better education in order to get hired. Okay, most metropolitan departments switch to you need to have an associate's degree, then you need to have a bachelor's degree, and then it's like, well, there were still problems with interacting with the public. Well, we need more community policing. Okay, we did that. Bike patrols and things of this nature. Okay, that's still not working. You know what we need, Mike? We need people to wear body cams. So we did body cams. Right. Then it's car cams, and then the more that they do this, the more problems we see. And at what point does it become, hey, public, the problem is you. The problem isn't with those that are challenged with enforcing our laws. It's with the actual public that's not obeying the laws. And so, like Mike said, of course, the criminal element is going to say, we wanted to fund the police and create a paradise for those folks. Dan says, I'm watching on 3 phones. Just kidding. Amanda says, women only is exploding more than they already have. Already a spike in men as well, which is great. Robert says, in the past 3 months, I have taught 150 new CCW students. Almost all were brand new gun owners looking for basic marksmanship and safety training. Dan says, with gun sales up 500%, you would think the anti-gun movement would be losing steam. Steven says, if this was a mail-in interview, the numbers would be higher. Gun sales. Stores I've been in here in Allen, Texas, ammo and weapons are empty shelves. Where the hell is all this ammo stuff going, Mike?
You tell me. Where'd the ammo go? I'd love to know that. I mean, we've had ammo shortages before, but we've not had it like this. And I would expect that the companies are churning out ammo or trying to catch up, but where did it go? I know that, you know, in the gun community, I know sometimes we tend to have these knee-jerk reactions in terms of buying guns and buying ammo. And actually, a lot of times it's not the shooters, it's the individuals that say, oh my gosh, they're going to outlaw the AR-15, so let's all go buy AR-15s. And now we literally have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of AR-15s in boxes and closets that people never shot, never trained with, probably don't technically know how to load. They're not set up. They're not zeroed. They're not ready to rock and roll. I think it's the same maybe with ammo. Oh my gosh, can't get any ammo. I'm going to go buy a couple cases off the local gun store shelf. It was like toilet paper. How fast did toilet paper disappear? But toilet paper came back. Like the toilet paper factories kicked it in high gear and came back. Ammo, not so much. So I don't know, folks. If someone is in the ammo industry and can answer that question, please.
Because it's firearms components as well. You know, we were talking to someone last night. Primers are getting hard to get a hold of. Not just the ammo; it's also the reloading supplies. Because I'm thinking about getting back into reloading again. John says, let them go to Venezuela for a year. To Mike's point about living a lawless environment. If you like a nation without laws, I would encourage you to move to Somalia. Pretty awesome place. I hear they got some challenges, but they're working through them. They're a developing country, but no law enforcement will bother you there. So that's a good place to consider moving your family to. Dan says, none of these programs teach you how to deal with people. Jared says, serious mental health issues, lead in the water. Either way, help needed. Has nothing to do with weapons. Law enforcement is cracking down here only 100 miles from Portland. Andrew Branca says, show me the police officer demonstrably using unlawful deadly force for racist or any other reasons who was not held legally accountable anytime in the last, say, 10 years.
I completely agree, Andrew. And that's absolutely positively the truth. I totally agree with that. Matter of fact, you can to an extent look at it with some of the things that have caused some of the recent chaos. It's like, and I get there are bad cops doing stupid things. There have always been bad cops doing stupid things. Like there are bad people in the military doing stupid things. Like there are bad accountants doing stupid things. There are bad lawyers doing stupid things. There are bad, attorney generals doing stupid things. There have been bad presidents doing stupid things, and they're the president of the United States. But here's the bottom line is I agree with that, Andrew. Show us that person.
Yeah, and most of these things that stoke the flames are based on a false narrative. I mean, that the shooting that led to the looting of Chicago, I think it was on Sunday or Monday night, turned out to be completely false. The narrative that was going around on social media that the police had shot some unarmed child, and of course that wasn't the case. The guy was shooting at the police. The Mike Brown situation with Darren Wilson. I mean, when I talked to the South African attorney last Friday, Mike, the guy knew about all these cases in America and could cite them line by line. There is no such thing. This is a complete myth, and I agree with Andrew on that these racist shootings are just rampant. They're not. They're isolated incidents, and they're prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Jason says production is way down with regard to ammunition. I'm not sure why. Get in there and get to work, folks. Our lead comes from foreign sources too. Boy, that could be.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Jared says the ammo is getting hid with Lysol cans. Dan, they are expecting a turn in the election and an executive order banning something. John, reloading supplies are hard to find. Michael Brown says, first the ammo disappears, then the firearms disappeared. Now all the LCE and optics are disappearing. Steven says this is a good case to have a couple of oddball calibers. I tell you, it's not a bad idea. That's about all I'm seeing on the shelves right now. Hearing ammo and components productions hit hard. Brett says law enforcement needs more training one day each week, every week, the ability to separate those who can't or won't be retrained. No one wants to work with bad apples. Set them free. Jason says what we've heard is most ammo manufacturers and component manufacturers at 30% production. Sorry, folks, I can't see that. And a bazillion percent higher demand. Any questions for Mike? We got 114 folks on. Thank you for joining me. Coffee with Rich here, sitting with Mr. Mike Seeklander in beautiful Montana. Greg says, I am 72, still trained with a pistol and AR. SBR and a previous student of Mike's. Great show. Andrew Branca, Law Self-Defense, says, we'll soon learn that the George Floyd case is no more a case of police racist murder than there was the Michael Brown case.
Yeah, possibly true.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, that's where I worry about this civil unrest, because we still have all of the trials to go. If you remember, the burning in Los Angeles in 1992 was because of the acquittal of the officers from the case in March of 1991. So we still have the Rashad Brooks case to go, the George Floyd case to go, several other high-profile cases to go, and I think we are far from over. Then we have an election where one side of the election may contest. Look at this.
This big old black cat just showed up and started rubbing it. Is this bad luck? What's up?
I don't think so.
Cats seem to like me for some reason.
Jocko says social media is a big factor in people reporting for sensational, not facts. Gilly says, good morning, Rich. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, everyone. Gilly in the Philippines. Good morning. Any questions for Mike before we get on with our day? We got to get to the range here coming up.
All right, let's do one more question and get off here.
All right. One final question, folks. What do you got? Robert, with having 3 members of my family working in corrections, wife and 2 sons, I worry about something happening to them, but I also know that I have prepared them properly with shooting and defensive moves, which I study the videos in the American Warrior Society site. Is there anything else I should think about?
No, Robert, honestly, I think that if you have access to the American Warrior Society vault and you are a listener of the American Warrior show, this cat loves you, man. That's kind of funny. You have access to the resources that you need. I think everybody watching right now is probably a listener on the show. And if not, you need to be a listener on the show, because the things that Rich and I are not good at, we bring guests on, like Mr. Andrew Branca and like this big black cat. Hey, what's up, Herman? Come here, dude. You're kind of still on the show. Here, let's let him say hi to everybody. Hi, kitty cat. I don't know what this cat's name is, by the way. No
idea.
Anyways, listen to the American Warrior show. Get a big black cat like we have here, and log into your vault. There's plenty of content there. So, all right, man, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, Andrew says, in law self-defense, prosecutor who brought the charges against Officer Ralph in the Rashad Brooks case just lost his run for re-election. New prosecutor to re-examine the case. That's good news. Jared says, I couldn't imagine trying to do your job and then street people attacking you. Yeah, I guess she's talking about law enforcement. Jason says, do we shoot the ammo we have to keep our edge?
Yeah. Keep practicing. What do you need at home? You don't need 1,000 rounds. You're not going to get into 1,000-round gunfight. So have enough ammo to load all your guns and reload all your guns. You don't want to be short on ammo, but at the same time, don't stop training because you want to keep 5,000 rounds in your house. That doesn't make any sense. You're not going to get into a 5,000 round gunfight in your home. I don't think you will. If you do, that's a pretty good gunfight. So keep training. Have a stock that you can load your guns and have plenty of backup ammo and magazines. And other than that, sprinkle out just a teeny bit of ammo as you need to, and continue to train. So hey, kitty cat.
And dry fire costs nothing, folks.
Hey, by the way, if you're watching this right now, do me a favor. Whenever you're watching this, and us and our big black cat. Here, I'll take the microphone. You can take the cat. We've never had a cat on the coffee with Rich before. Do me a favor. If you're watching this, share this later on. So if you watch this later on during the day, you can still share it. So if you're not watching the live version and you enjoy this show and you like some of the things we talked about, please do us a favor. Give us a share. Rich is on Coffee with Rich every Friday morning. I'm going to go live probably starting next week again on some of the technical stuff. We do the daily dry fire challenge. It's not actually daily, but the dry fire challenge. And I may have this cat with me, right? I love this cat. Anyways, I'm going to be going live. Move your damn tail, cat. Sometime in the future. So share this. Thanks for joining us. I got to go get ready for class. Rich, you can close it up.
All right, folks. Stay safe and remember, the fight is coming. Be ready.